Leighton has a lot of solo tackles. I mean, how's he, as far as impact plays, you don't have a whole lot of glaring impact plays, but he hasn't been beat either a lot of times. What have you seen as far as overall the way he's played?
You know, you see his range. He got really good range. He got really good range in space. He's really learned the package in terms of gap control, where his gaps are at. That's a lot of stuff. He did a nice job in it last week. Really played really sound football for us. So we feel confident, and I think, you know, a guy like Joe comes in, he can rotate in there to help us. He's a savvy veteran player, as is 57.
Detroit scored on 3 of their first 4 possessions. How do you slow those guys down?
You mean, are you talking about Detroit? I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Oh God, I mean, they came out so well prepared, I felt, in their game, and I say it every week, you got to stop the run. I don't care who the quarterback is or what it is, you have to control the run game. And they had a real good commitment to it. And both backs are tough now. I think the line is really blocking their basic stuff really well. So that's the first thing we've got to do, is we go and try to get them to be one-dimensional. And that's our job. And then try to flip the field, and we need takeaways.
When you went back and looked at the tape, what stood out about Kerryon Johnson's game?
I'm sorry, who?
33, their rookie back.
Oh yeah. I mean, he is, you know, he's got really good vision. As he comes in the hole, he can break lateral both ways, downhill runner. I mean, he's downhill and he keeps going. I mean, he was impressive last week. So we definitely he got our attention.
When you have a guy like Stafford, and he's dropping to all those different like arm angles and stuff like that, I mean, how does that affect your rushers? I mean, or you know, I mean, it seems like the passing lanes maybe like almost creates his own sometimes.
He does. He's a classic NFL drop back passer with mobility, and buys time by climbing up in the pocket. He's a climber, and he buys time, and the rushers just can't end up behind him. But he buys time. He's got windows. He got a cannon. I mean, he was with us in the Pro Bowl not the last couple ones ago, and man, you sit there in practice, and say, wow, he can really throw a football, and what a competitor, really good competitor. So we just got to be who we are and just keep improving.
You got Randy Gregory back last week. He had the penalty. Did you talk to him about that? And where is he overall in kind of his comeback?
Well, you know, you just stuff happens, you know, and that's one thing we talk about. We can't have foolish penalties. It's number one, and we can't beat yourself, and so that's so important. But now learn from it. Now we go on, and he's going to have a good week. Had a real good week of practice. Got a good full week, and so I'm excited to see him play.
How did Xavier look? Xavier Woods in his first game back.
Gosh, he was. I mean, been out for a while, and he came in. He was hitting well, and you notice him on the field. He's got really good quickness and speed. Got great range. Smart. So we thought he played, a really good ball game for us.
When offense struggles to move the chains early and defense is constant on the field, did you notice that your guys were getting worn down towards the end of the game?
You know, if they shouldn't. I mean, they shouldn't. They've got to. It's a mindset and a toughness of mind. We got to keep playing. I thought at the very end of the game we got some 3 and outs. You know, in the 4-minute type of deal. We played hard and fast in those areas. Biggest thing we've got to do to help our team is get takeaways. That's number one. And we've got to be able to flip the field with takeaways. And the players know that, and we work on it. And now our efforts got to show up in production.
Do you feel like the pressure you're getting, Rod, can help generate those?
Yeah, pressure,
eventually?
Get in the guy's face, you know, tip balls, sack fumbles. We got in a couple sack fumbles. We got to get the picks. We got to get more strips. And the rush, it all starts in the pocket. 70% over all the last 25 years, 68% of all takeaways are generated in the pocket. So the rush is a factor.
Why do you think the effort hasn't translated into the production through the first 3 games?
You know, I couldn't. We are hitting it. We're going after the thing. I mean, you can see us kind of rake it, and it just hadn't come out yet. But if you just keep attempting, then it's going to get on a roll. That's my belief. I always look for what do you call it? The glass is what?
Half full.
Okay, I have a full glass, okay, all the time.
Are you pretty pleased with your cornerback play?
Oh, big time. Byron Jones is killing it right now. 24 is coming along. I mean, he's playing very well. You can't say enough about what those guys are doing. They allow us to bring an extra guy in the box for the run, and it's because of them. And I tell you couldn't be happier with him. Jeff Heath's showing up well, so they're playing very well.
You talk about how far Jalen's come, but looking back a year ago, how far have you seen, just on tape, and the way he's moving and all those things, how much difference is
different guy.
Yeah.
And you can see it, right? I mean, the speed and explosion,
right.
but more important is the change of direction. You can see that again.
That's where the biggest difference is?
For me, I see it. Because he's always been, that straight line last year, he was fast.
Yeah.
But it's that seems to really clicking for him right now. That movement, and he knows what he's doing. You know, when you don't, you're thrown into that thing quick like that. It's hard to play with great speed and movement at times.
Even when he was out that year, he talked about mental reps and being with Sean and just working. And so it helped him learn the defense even better, I'm sure.
Yeah, but there's nothing like practicing.
Right.
You know, you can learn at that, but you have to physically do it day in and day out.
Obviously, you guys had high expectations for Leighton, but what has he shown that's even surprised you?
Nothing really yet. No, I mean, we knew he was smart. He's very smart, and he's tough. And we knew that. We felt going into it, and he's very consistent. There's no up and downs with him. You look at him, he's kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, steady Eddie, like Sean, steady Eddies. You know, 54 steady Eddies. You know, and that's a good thing. Anthony Hitchens, steady Eddies. All those type of guys. Durant, like that. Those guys are just steady Eddie. Nothing seems to affect them, and they can control the front and do those things.
Do you think part of his football smarts is from playing quarterback and playing middle linebacker in high school? And,
you know, some of that is. You know, I go back with Ron Rivera. I think he was a quarterback in high school. We had him as a defensive end at Cal. He was awareness. He always had great awareness in what he did. I'm sure there's something to that.
I know you don't get David Irving back until next week, but he's been around the team a couple of weeks. Just what impressions do you have of where he is right now?
Well, the big shadow comes walking in, big dinosaur, and he's lean. He looks good physically. You know, it's got to translate on the field. We all got to remember, I don't think he's had his hand in his stance for 10 months.
Right.
Okay, he missed the last 4 games of the year, and he really didn't have any off season. So as he comes in, you know, and he's ready to go, and he's a talent, no question. But there is a process. There's got to be some form of a progression for him. But he looks good, excited to be here, and we're excited to have him.
So you'll manage his snap count probably a little bit more early on than.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you got to see how he is in practice too. You know, it's different once you can do all the workout. It's different once you get the pads on.
For you personally, just because of your time in Detroit, does playing them feel any different for you?
Oh no, we played him a ton. When I was in Chicago, we were in the same division. Played him twice a year. I think 8 times there, and 3 times here. Might have led about 11 times or so. But no, it's just gray helmets. Gray matter coming in.
What about your appreciation for the franchise and just the opportunity that you had there?
Oh, it's great. I'm very thankful in this profession every day about everything, and great people, all that, and then you move on and appreciate them from afar. And now you got gray matter coming in. It doesn't matter who's in. It's about us, what we do. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Will this be your defense's toughest challenge?
It's a challenge. That quarterback's good now, you know, and I like the run game. Number 15, run after catch, big, and the other back, Blount. I mean, he's a load there now. We've played him before. He's a strong, physical downhill runner. So we got to get in, and we got to make him one-dimensional. We've got to be able to play the run. Got to.
Leighton led the defensive tackles last week. How have you seen him develop under Bloom's leadership?
Oh, I think, you know, Ben has done a terrific job. But, you know, he had a lot of time spending with Flew. Matt Eberflus here, and he's developed into a terrific linebacker coach. Terrific, really bright. And he's just been very, very thorough with them. And there's such good leadership in that room, you know, with Sean and 54 and 57. We've got good leadership. And so he's doing a good job.
Did Tank do enough when he was? I know Seattle was helping on him and chipping him and stuff. Did he do his job? Was it up to the other guys to get more pressure, or does Tank need to even do more when they're doing?
Oh no, when they get, you know, sometimes you get chipped. But my whole thing has always been in a 4-man rush. You know, they kept a tight end in it sometimes, but the guy that gets a single has to be effective. You have to be. if you're going to rush 4 like that. And that's all part of it. And they know that. Every guy, you've got to master the one-on-one.